This is Tarheel Talk, an in-depth look at the issues and people making news in North Carolina. Here's your host, Sonia Williams.
More and more high school students are going to college than ever before. That's according to a recently released report from the National Center of Educational Statistics. But getting to college and paying for it takes years of planning and preparation, both academically and when it comes to finding grants and scholarships. On today's show, our experts will tell students and parents everything they need to know to be ready for the college search. They are Sheba Lowe Beverly, CEO of A+ Test Prep, and Rhonda Manns, a college admissions consultant with A to Z College Planning. Welcome to Tarheel Talk.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you very much.
Now, it's great that more and more students are going to college, but of course we all know with more students going to college, it also equals more competition to get into college. With that being said, how soon should students start preparing for college?
Well, it's never too early. You never hear anybody say, oh, I planned too much, I started too early. You know, it really begins the minute a child's foot hits the doorsteps of the school. You want to start early with encouraging a love of reading, a curiosity for learning, and those are the academics that will develop later on. Rhonda?
Yes, and you know, planning for college, it's a process, and the sooner that the families start the process, the more options they're going to have in the 12th grade year. So at the least, you know, 9th grade, they need to start planning, laying out the course selection, start looking at the schools that they're interested in attending. So.
Okay. So when you talk about the courses, now I have a high schooler and we have this battle all the time about the importance of taking honors and AP courses. How important is it to take those high-level courses in high school?
You know, it's really important if your school is offering them. You know, when you look at a high school's profile, if they're offering, say, 20 to 25 honors or AP courses, and they look at a student's transcript, and that student has never availed himself of any of those rigorous opportunities, and a college is going to take that into account. That's really important to think about. You know, really in terms of doing well on admissions tests, they say, the research says that long-term academic rigor is the best thing to do to prepare for a college admissions test. And taking those honors and those AP courses really helps a student develop those skills and prepare them for doing well on those tests. That long-term academic rigor, definitely.
Now, with that being said, is it better to take, say, an AP course and make a B as opposed to the regular course or the college prep course and make an A?
Well, colleges would prefer to see A's in all courses, regardless if it's an AP on honors. But in general, they would prefer to see that a student takes an AP class and make a B versus taking an easier class and making an A, because what that is showing to the college is that student is willing to challenge him or herself academically, and that's what they're looking for.
Okay, and that's something, like I said, I have a high schooler, and we constantly battle with that, and I think it's important for parents and students to know that how colleges view the course load. But at what point, Rhonda, do we need a college planner, a professional to step in and help?
Well, that's going to vary from family to family as to when or if they hire a consultant. For families that are looking at maybe a non-traditional student, or maybe the family that has the student that needs a little bit of more individual attention, more guidance one-on-one, and also sometimes families that are a little bit confused about the process, or the parents is wanting the student to go to one college and the student is wanting to go to another college. A lot of times those families will seek out consultants.
Okay. Now let's talk about what you need to do, another step you need to take, a major step you need to take before you can enter college, and that is taking either the ACT or the SAT. Sheba, tell us a little bit about the difference between those two tests.
Well, the big difference is that the ACT has a science component that the SAT does not. The SAT is 1/3 reading, 1/3 math, 1/3 writing. The ACT is 1/4 reading, 1/4 writing, 1/4 math, 1/4 science, and then there's also an optional writing component that most colleges and universities require. The thing I tell students to think about is this: think about where your natural abilities and what you like to do. Think about whether you really enjoy science and math and whether you excel in those courses. thinking about it in terms of numbers, ACT is one half reading and one half writing, one half math, okay? And science. The SAT is 2/3 reading and writing. So a student who enjoys science, tends to do pretty well in science and math, may see the ACT as kind of giving them a fairer shot, so to speak, particularly if they feel that reading and writing are not their strengths.
Okay. Now, do colleges accept both, or do you have to take one or the other depending on where you want to go to school?
They do. All colleges and universities take both. And many students, sometimes they think, well, oh, I'll take the ACT because the writing is optional. But most colleges and universities require that optional writing test on the ACT. They do require it.
Okay. And in terms of college consulting, when you talk to families about the ACT and SAT, how early do you recommend that students start taking it?
Well, you know, as 10th graders, they're going to take the plan test, and as 10th graders, depending on their math level, they could also take the PSAT. So with that being said, I think as soon as they enter high school is a prime opportunity for them to start prepping for the test.
One of the things that 8th graders in North Carolina are going to be doing this year for the first time, is taking what's called the ACT Explore test, which is really an educational and career exploration tool. It's really going to give parents and students an idea of where students stand in terms of science, reading, math, and English, and will also give them kind of a career exploration tool that'll help them start thinking about, you know, where their likes and their aptitudes, how they match up with particular careers that are out there waiting for them. So really, 8th grade is not too early. It's really, really not too early. Oh no, ma'am, it's not too early. The Explore test will give them a great window into, you know, what lies down the road in terms of college testing.
Now, what if you have a senior? I'm sorry.
I was just going to add, you know, now North Carolina is actually paying for all 11th graders to take the ACT, which is a fairly new initiative.
And that's major, because these tests, you do have to pay to take them.
And they can use those test scores as an 11th grader taking the SAT, the ACT, they can use those for college admissions.
Okay.
You know, this year, juniors in North Carolina will take the ACT in March of 2013. Juniors in North Carolina will take it. They'll take the plan in October of this year. And so both of those. The plan is kind of a preliminary ACT, so it's also will give the students kind of a peek into, you know, where they stand in terms of college admissions tests down the road.
And I'm sure there may be some parents watching today, or some students saying, oh my gosh, have a senior, and they have not taken any of these standardized tests. What should they do? Besides pray.
Make it a #1 priority. If you're a senior at this point, what you want to do is go ahead and get the SAT/ACT off of your plate and out of the way as soon as possible, because you really want to spend time, you know, looking for scholarships, finishing up your applications, participating in all the things that make being a senior fun in school. And when you're stressed out about trying to get the ACT or the SAT behind you, that kind of takes some of the fun out of the whole process. Identify a study plan ASAP, whether that be enrolling in a class, whether that be studying with a group of friends, whether that be set aside 30 minutes a day, every single day, dedicated to prepare. Maybe one day do English, one day do math, one day do writing. But it has to be something every day, and it has to be concentrated. You know, if a senior needs test prep now, or they need to take the SAT or the ACT now, they can't say, oh, I have to work. Oh, I can't do it right now. They have to say, this is a #1 priority, and everything else has to come a little bit later.
Okay. How can people, I'm sorry.
Sonia, and I will add that some schools are actually what we call test optional for admissions. So sometimes when I have students in the situation that they're senior and for whatever reason they haven't taken any of the standardized tests, we try to look at schools that are test optional for admissions purpose only. So some colleges will admit students without them having to take the SAT or the ACT.
That's good to know.
But if they want to compete for scholarships,
they have to.
They have to take it.
Okay, well, that's what I want to talk about after the break. But before we go to break, I want you to tell viewers how they can find out more information about your organization.
Our website, aplushigherscores.com. We have information there, all testimonials about students who've taken our classes. We've had students to do increases of up to 300 points on the test, and all across the board in all 3 areas. Our website, we also have a blog, aplusTestPrep.blogspot.com, and all of our information is there online. And we also have a Facebook page, so look us up on Facebook, A Plus Test Prep.
All right, and Rhonda?
Our website is a2zcollegeplanning.com, and we have a list of seminars. I teach some seminars in the community that are free, so the seminars are listed on the website as well. We have a newsletter that they can sign up for, as well as they can follow our blogs.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll talk more in just a minute.
Great.
We'll be back with more Tar Heel Talk after these messages.